time, we need to get to the bottom line.
Here's the bottom line.
Here's the bottom line.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Get to the bottom of this.
We've got to get to the bottom of this.
The bottom line on the Mark Cox Show.
That's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of this.
That's the bottom line.
Truth! You can't handle the truth.
Wow. All right. Keith Antone, radio voice extraordinaire, joining us in the studio. How are you, Keith?
I'm doing fine. Hey, Mark, just so that I can have a day job when I leave here, I've got to say, Keith Antone, host of Community Connections on Praise 95.1. They always rag me when I get back to the station.
That they say didn't mention where you work.
Right. They say you never mention where you work. And so if you want to continue working here, so I just wanted to get that out of the way.
When's your show on?
It's on every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m.
Very good.
And I sent you an invite because I'm inviting you to come on and chop it up with us later in the month.
You know, we're changing email systems right now, so it might have gotten caught in the spam filter.
It might have, but
but I'd be more than happy to do that if it works.
I got your cell phone.
Call me. Let me know.
Have your people call my people, Mark.
That's how we'll do it. That's how we'll do it.
You big timers,
yeah, absolutely. So first thing I want to talk to you about is this prosecution of Eric Greitens by, in my opinion, a politically motivated prosecutor in the city of St. Louis.
I thought you would say that. And it's always funny, Mark, that you Republicans and people that are Donald Trump supporters, whenever it's a Republican, it's always politically motivated. And whenever it's a Democrat that breaks the law, it's let's prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. I thought you might say that. I told my wife over here, I said, I like Mark. I said, matter of fact, he's my brother from another mother. But I guarantee you he's going to come out and say it's politically motivated. Hell no, it's not politically motivated. It was a grand jury. He's admitted that I told you he was General Freak Daddy on the first time I came on your show, and I said it was going to be more fallout and it's going to be more women. Didn't I say that, Mark Cox?
But it didn't happen.
Didn't I say that, Mark Cox?
But it didn't happen.
Okay.
You were wrong.
Okay, I was wrong. You want me to be wrong. Here's what
No, I want you to admit that you were wrong because there wasn't any more fallout. There weren't any more women.
There's going to be more fallout. He's not going to be governor in 60 days. What do you mean it's no fallout? I did say it was more women. And it still might be more women, Mark. I still say that. On the first time I came on your show, I said the governor is General Freak Daddy, and he's going to have some problems here. He will be the ex-governor by May of this year. He'll be the ex-governor.
I couldn't disagree with you more, but the bottom line is that earlier this week, and Chris Arps,
so
who
you're
fills
saying
in for me sometimes,
he's just politically motivated.
He went to the steps of the courthouse over here where a group of the Clergy Coalition and other African-American leaders got together and tried to defend what Kim Gardner has done here.
Well,
they referred to the governor as a known racist, and that they basically wanted to get him out of office no matter what. Here, I'll let you listen to one of them. Hold on.
Okay.
And so we believe that the governor is subject to the same justice system that all of the citizens are subject to. The same justice system that failed Mike Brown, the same justice system that failed Anthony Lamar Scott. And so
well, that's Anthony Lamar Smith. Wait a minute, one more real quick.
I'm not here to deal with the guilt and innocence of Greitens. We already know who he is. We already know who he is.
Right.
You don't have to prove that he is a racist in a court of law. We already know that.
Come on.
You don't have to prove that he doesn't care anything about black people or poor people in a court of law. We already know that.
I don't know
what's that. I'm not asking you to defend what they did over there, but the bottom line is that a lot of people seem to think that there's some sort of double justice system, and that because Anthony Lamar Smith died and Officer Stockley got acquitted of that murder, therefore it should be okay to indict the sitting governor of Missouri for in a case where there's apparently no victim and no photograph that he's accused of sharing.
Well, I can't defend any of that because I don't know who those voices were, and I'm not going to come here and defend them. I'm not going to call the governor a racist. What I'm going to call him is one that's been indicted for his crime, and that was the crime that supposedly, allegedly happened in America. You'll hear me always say this, Mark. You are innocent until proven guilty. But a grand jury handed this down. She had a special, I won't say prosecutor, but she paid someone to come in and take another look at it. This is not politically motivated. Your own party is lining up saying this guy's got to go. He broke the law allegedly until he's proven guilty in May, and then he'll be out of there. But you got to admit, I don't know what these folks were. I got invited to that. They were coming up, and she's been getting personal attacks, and folks that are out there, probably some of your listeners are saying some of your listeners are probably saying that it's politically motivated because they listen to the Mark Cox Show and they listen to you and they believe you.
But that means
wrong.
that means they're right.
Well, that means they're wrong.
That means they're right.
They're
Keith.
right for 3 hours a day.
So I know we're not going to agree on this, but Kim Gardner couldn't find St. Louis police, the FBI. She couldn't find anybody locally to investigate this. Had to go out of state, hire a private group of investigators to come in to trump up a charge before the statute of limitations got up in March.
Mark, you're a very smart man.
But there's no picture.
Are you okay? No.
Didn't you see that reported yesterday?
When does
that they don't have the picture?
When does most people that engage in that type of activity take pictures? I don't know.
That's what he's accused of.
Okay, but I'm saying evidently there must be one because a grand jury didn't a grand jury hand that indictment down?
Did you hear the tape? When this whole thing, when Channel 4 broke the story 2 months ago, did you hear the tape? So the disgruntled ex-husband surreptitiously tapes a private conversation with his now ex-wife in which she made these allegations. Since then, she's never spoken publicly about it. She never filed a criminal complaint about it. It's inadmissible in a court of law, and they admitted yesterday, the prosecutor's office, that they do not have the photograph in question that he allegedly took of her against her permission, but he's charged with invasion of her privacy. There's no evidence of it.
Do you think, though, let me ask you this, though, Mark. Do you think when going to war, do I call you up and say, hey, Mark, I know you and we're going to war here. Here's the battle plan. Do you think really that they're going to admit that? Do you think that she's going to say that? I don't think. I think they've got enough for a grand jury indictment that has come down, and they've got enough to where this governor, who I'm not calling any names or anything other than the fact that he has an indictment, that he is going to have to face the music. Wouldn't you agree with that? He's got to face the music. There's an indictment here, and whether it's trumped up or not, it's one that's going to go through the system, right or wrong. He
will have to face the music.
Do you think he'll survive this, Mark? Though
I
really?
do.
You do?
I do. Unless there's evidence that they're hiding that they haven't brought out yet.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't think they've got enough there to. I don't think they've got enough there to convict him.
One thing about it, on the Mark Cox Show, whenever I come, we can agree to disagree, but I think that you're wrong once again. This is 3 times this year. If you keep this up, Mark, it's going to be 4. It's just 3 times this year you've been absolutely positively wrong. No,
all right.
I think the guy. I think everyone is in America. I think everyone is due justice, and he needs to go through the process. And if he comes out of this and he's still governor, he's still going to have some trust issues. I think it's some other things around this. The fact that you get an indictment is that in and of itself is going to say one thing. It's going to say that, hey, there is probability that this might have happened. So we don't know about the picture. It may come up, and who knows? The picture may all of a sudden come up.
There's discovery. If there was a picture, I mean, how can you charge somebody if you don't have any proof of the crime?
But how that's what I want to know. So how could she hand this indictment down, Mark, if there is nothing? What are you saying? There's nothing here? Do you think there's absolutely positively nothing here?
The biggest problem Eric Greitens has is that he has hacked off as many Republicans in Jeff City as he has Democrats.
We agree there.
He doesn't have a lot of political support.
We agree there.
So there are a number of people that probably wouldn't mind Governor Parsons.
And let me say this. I've met the governor. He's actually been to our church. I belong to Shalom, City of Peace. He actually, when he was on his campaign, he came, he spoke. A number of people enjoyed listening to him at that particular time, and he probably has a bigger black fan base than what those 3 or 4 reverends or preachers that were out on the courthouse steps were alluding to. I bet you he probably does. The guy didn't seem like he was a bad guy at all until about a couple of months ago.
Did you hear that the prosecutor Gardner tried to make sure that the trial was held like the week of the election in November of this year?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Instead, the judge set it for like May, which is incredibly fast.
It's
in
extremely
this legal system. So we'll see what happens. All right. The other big issue, I have no idea where you stand on this. You and I have not talked about this.
We haven't.
It's this issue of gun control that everybody's demanding guns have to be banned and ages have to be raised, and the NRA is to blame for what happened in Parkland. Where are you?
I can tell you exactly where I'm at. I'm a gun owner and a very, very proud gun owner. I have several guns. And guns don't kill people. People kill people, Mark. And let me say this about this. What I would say is that there should be a ban on assault rifles and on those type of weapons that can cause mass destruction and mass carnage. And the only thing that I'm going to say is that there should be some kind of system, and it should be, even if it's not a ban, it should be a period, a waiting period of 3 to maybe 6 months before you can. I don't think that you should be able to go in and just buy that type of a weaponry and be able to walk out that same day, because in the heat of anger, and we're only talking about schools here, but let's not forget about Las Vegas. Let's not forget about, it's about people that have been using this. That seems to be the weapon of choice when people want to kill multiple people in this country. So I heard you, or a bit, and maybe it wasn't you, about getting teachers armed and training and having guns in the schools. I was at a meeting this morning at the superintendent's office with a number of clergy and leaders in this community, and the head of security, Colonel Taylor, and her sergeant, Sergeant Moore, said, "We are 100% against having teachers with guns, because once you get into the heat of the battle, and we've been doing this for 30, 40 years, the accuracy is about 20 to 25%, no matter how close that you are. There will be more people that will get injured or die if we have teachers out here having gun battles with people that are in there who are coming in to kill people." So I don't think that's the answer. I do think that we do need a waiting period when you want to get an assault rifle like that, and you shouldn't just be able to walk in and get it. But guns don't kill people.
Well, we agree on that one point, but the shooter in Las Vegas bought those guns over an 18 or 24-month period.
Yeah, but there were so many other signs. You would have to agree. There were so many other signs that this kid needed help.
Right,
and that's what he is. And I call him that. He's a kid.
But my question, Keith, is if we're going to fix this problem before the next shooting,
because that's going to be another one.
Debating a time period wait for certain types of firearms, that's not going to happen fast enough. We need tomorrow to take concrete steps that strengthen our schools. Now, putting a training program in place or hiring enough officers to actively protect these schools is also going to take a little bit of time. My argument is, I know teachers who are passionate shooters, who are concealed carry holders, who I would trust tomorrow to be in a classroom with kids and have their firearm on them. That is it. That is a quick answer to get some level of protection in these schools.
Mark Cox, why don't we teach them how to be firefighters? Why don't we teach them how to be firefighters? Why don't we teach them CPR? Why don't we teach them?
Because nobody's burning the school down. They're shooting it up.
Well, not yet, because maybe they may have to go to that if they don't shoot it up. But what I'm saying is, what teachers are there to teach, Mark? You can't possibly want some teachers, and they are givers by nature. They are providers, and
you're not forcing anybody to do it.
70% of your teachers are females anyway, and most of them are mothers and grandmothers. They're not going to want to go in there and take a life. I mean, I just don't believe that we're saying that that's going to be the fix. I think the fix, first steps, you're not going to be able to get the guns off the street, because I said it on your show last week before you came in. I said, just like marijuana, it's illegal, but everybody who wants to smoke weed can find it somewhere. If you ban them or whatever, then there'll be a black market for it. You'll be able to find a gun, and you and I both know that. We'll be able to find weapons. You can find them now. People go in and break in people's houses who have them legally, and they wait till you come down to the Cardinals game, and they break in your car and they get the gun.
They steal the gun, right?
So here's what I'm saying. This thing is going to happen. But what I'm saying is that there were a number of signs that could have helped this kid and maybe saved 17 lives. And your president was playing golf on the day of 2 funerals on President's Day. Your president, Mark, that's the insensitive thing. He could have been at one of those funerals. I just wanted to say that.
If he had been there when the shooting happened, he would have gone in and stopped it himself. He said that the other day. So don't try to blame this on Donald Trump, Keith Antone. Remind folks when they can listen to you on the radio again.
They can listen
Saturday
to me
morning.
Every Saturday on Praise 95.1 Community Connections. I'm the host, 8 to 10 a.m. We talk to local and national newsmakers, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll have Mark Cox, Tony Colombo, Christopher Arp, Speaker Jones, Mike Wesley Jones, T.D. Elamina, just about 10. It's just going to be a big political show, and we're just going to turn it over to the talking heads and just go at it. So thanks for for always thinking of
You
thinking
bet,
of me.
Keith. You know, the president had a message for you.
What did he say?
You're such a liar. You lie.
I'm just telling you. That's Keith Antone. That's today's bottom line. We'll get to your phone calls, 314-969-9797. We'll be right back.
Mark Cox Show on FM News Talk 97.1, 98.7, AM 1490, and 97.1talk.com. Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
We've seen this issue dogging our country for a long time. The president says it's time to fix it.
Not allow the bump stock.
Gun control.
Stay connected.
A sheriff's deputy assigned to protect the school hid out.
And he never went in.
Instead of confronting the shooter.
How could this have happened?
Invest in metal detectors.
FM News Talk 97.1.